really, really, really want our champs to get on the Zooms. So I'm probably not going to post it in the champ thread, but if you have a champ that needs it, have them message me. I'll share it with them. How do y'all feel about that? Is that okay? Kind of being bitchy. Sorry.
I agree.
Okay. Yay. As long as one person agrees. So we had 35 people say they were coming, and I only seen 19 on, but I'm going to go ahead and get started because we have another call coming up in an hour. Betsy Gann, your screensaver, I can never tell for sure if it's a screensaver or your real face. Kelly Campbell, your screensaver looks like you want to put on your face. It's like pursed lip.
Oh, and that's fine.
You want to kill me. I love you so much, but that's what it looks like. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and mute everybody real quick, and then I just have a few things to say, and then I'm going to, like, open it up here. Let me see. So first of all, congratulations on an incredible month. November was super fun and super exciting, and I don't know. I felt a totally different vibe from our team and from myself even in November than I have in a while. And it's really, I genuinely believe that it's like a result of the stuff that we started doing in September, right? Like a lot of us went to Keto Academy more. A lot of us got super fired up. A lot of us changed our DMOs like instantaneously that day. And like the fruits of that I felt were really coming into play, especially the second half of November. So I don't know if anybody else feels that way. I like to have people raise their hand. It's like the school teacher in me. Hi, does anyone else feel that way? Hi. Quick change of subject. Carrie, I'm like stalking all of your Facebook and Instagram posts. So I'm praying for your little embryo and I hope that it all works out. When will you find out? Can you unmute yourself so I know?
Yeah.
How often I have to stalk you?
Thank you so much. It's like officially a prove it baby.
Like for real legit it took, or am I missing it? Or?
I am pregnant until proven otherwise.
Okay. I love it.
But, I think the earliest I can know is in a couple days, but they want me to wait. It should be solid like by day 8. So
okay.
Next Monday, I guess, is when they're wanting me to test.
Okay. Well, I'm like on pins and needles, just excited and praying for you. So I saw your face and I had to change the subject real quick.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
So while we're doing congratulations, I'm just saying congratulations in advance on that. So I'm super pumped up.
Thank you.
So anyway, really great month. And yay, Michelle K's first Champ Zoom. I think we have a couple of people experiencing their first Champ Zoom. Danielle Vaders is having her first Champ Zoom. Yay! Guess what? We get real on these Zooms. This is where life gets real, okay? You have officially stepped up. You are officially, like, even though so many of us are genuine leaders before we ever hit that title, this is where ish gets real, so I'm just letting you know. So sometimes I say things that aren't nice. I'm real sorry, but I say it with a smile, or I try to. Okay. So back to basics. Welcome to our 2 new champs. I'm super pumped up for you. I'm really excited about the really great month that we had. So many of you, so many of us, so many people on our team had really great growth in November, over October, and over September, and over August. As a whole, we were up several $100,000. So I'm super pumped up for everybody. And here's what I'm going to tell you. We're going to get into this in a little bit, but there is a very simple distinction between the groups that have significant growth and the groups who were kind of flatlined or went down. We had all of those things happen within our team, and there's a very significant distinction between them. And so I I definitely want to share that with you all so you can be aware of it. The next thing I have on my little agenda here is that I just want to ask for hosts. I know you all had heard us talk about how we were going to start implementing weekly champ posts. And we've had some really great weeks. I know Jessica Davenport had a great week. Brittany Beck had an amazing week. Jessica, you partnered with Casey, but I'm not letting her off the hook. That's not her week. You just used her a lot. So, but that's not her week. Ashley and Jessica and I hosted a week. And then Christine, you were hosting a week and got sick. So you're not off the hook either. You only got one day and then you lost your voice. So you're not off the hook either. So I'm just hoping, I would love to know who could take over this week, and we don't have to answer now, but if you want to volunteer or raise your hand for this week, you can put it in the chat by the end of the meeting. I would love to know who the next few people are who feel like they're ready to go. They can handle a potential promoter Zoom on Tuesday. The potential promoter Zoom, hopefully you've all been on our potential promoter Zoom, so you know what they look like. The new promoter Zoom is on Wednesday. We actually have an agenda that I forward to you, so you don't have to know everything about the new promoter Zoom. And then Thursday can be the topic of choice. So just be thinking about that and let me know who's ready to do the next couple of weeks, because we would really love to have some other people step in and do it. Obviously, we're cool doing it too, but we just want to, help you all become better leaders and have other people in your team and outside of your team and in our whole group in general look at you all as leaders and not just feel dependent on the same 2 or 3 people. So we would love to know who wants to do that. And then my next thing, here's why I was so pumped up, you guys, that I wanted to have a little Zoom. And then we're going to open it up to whatever topics you guys want to discuss. So we had the TV on the other morning. I think it was before the kids are going to school. And we had like Nat Geo or National Geographic or whatever you call it. It was on. And there was this TV show, and I got instantly sucked in because it completely applied to all of us and what we do. It was a show called Brain Games, and I actually found it online, and so I'm going to share the episode with you when we're done with this call. And there's a certain section of the episode that I'll ask you to watch. The whole theory of the show was about the power of words, the power of positivity, the power of positive thinking, and what it does to our brain. So there were 2 really cool sections of this episode. One was a guy. Actually, Jack, do you want to tell him about the train? Because you actually saw that the whole thing of that. Tell him about the train part, and then I'll tell him about the other part. Can you unmute?
Yeah, I'm unmute. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean, the train part?
Yeah, wasn't it like the guy sitting on the train and they played sad music and they played happy music? Do you want to talk about that part?
Yeah, so they had a guy dressed. He was kind of in business attire. He had a tie on. He had a briefcase. He had like a sweater. Kind of a younger looking guy, and he had a certain look on his face, and he's kind of looking around. And they played a particular. They had segment 1, and please give us your scenario. Play along. It was kind of funny because it was always like play full out. Like it was a TV show, and they're asking you to play along. So it was kind of funny, but so it was like scenario 1, and they played a low tone. Not necessarily sad, but the tone of the music just made it seem like a sad situation. And the look on his face was kind of like maybe he just had lost his job or he was about to get fired or something. That was a scenario I played in my head. And then they had the exact same guy in the exact same situation with a song with an upbeat tune, and it had a higher pitch, and it was all playful. And he had the exact same look on his face. And the scenario in your head was completely different, only because of what was going on in the background. It had nothing to do with him, but it was the music being played. And so it changed, which was an attitude thing. And they were talking about your attitude towards what you hear and your surroundings around you in that particular segment.
And Jack was explaining that to me when I came downstairs, and then the next part came in, but it just reminded me of what we hear all the time about our DMOs and doing something every day to get yourself pumped up. And I have been back into playing my More song, for some reason, Sorry Not Sorry by Demi Lovato is like my jam. And I put it on and I'm like, I literally want to curse right now. I want to flip. I want to, like, it makes me so fired up. I want to curse at people. Like, I'm sorry, I'm not sorry that my life is so awesome and you wish that yours was as good as mine. Like, that's what I want to tell people all the time. And even though that sounds super snobby, it feels really good to feel that way. And it just totally sets my tone for the rest of the day. So if that's something that you're not doing, definitely get into it, because Jack was just like, it's totally true. I imagined this terrible scenario for this guy just because the music was sad, and this incredible scenario for this guy because the music was good. So the show went on to talk about the power of positivity, and let me tell you about this really cool experiment that they did. And I'm going to challenge you to take what I learned from this thing. I'm going to send you the episode so you can watch it and apply it to your business. So this is what happened. They took a bunch of people to a basketball court, like on a playground, and had everybody shoot baskets, okay? And these people were not so great. The first batch of people were not so great. They were the Mandy Mitchells of shooting free throws, okay? Now, Mandy Mitchell shooting a free throw, if I had 10 tries, I would get -10 baskets. Like, they would go the other way. I would never even get them in. So that is what, that's what these people's skill levels were. Okay. So they tried 10 times and they would get 0 baskets. And then the host would say, he brought in a crowd of people, and the host would say, okay, we're going to do this again, except we're going to blindfold you. And you have to try and get the baskets. And of course, the people were like, are you kidding me? I couldn't even get them when I could see the basket. I'm not going to get them now. But they played along and they put the blindfold on. And basically what they did was they had all the people that were now watching cheer for them, regardless of what happened. Like, they literally were like, whoa, my gosh, you did it. Oh my gosh, that was so great. Okay. And then they'd throw it again and they'd go, oh my gosh, that's amazing. That's amazing. You did it. It's so great. You're incredible. Okay, so blindfolded. The people were cheering for them. You got it in. You're amazing. So then they took the blindfold off and tried it again. And these people that were getting 0 baskets were getting 3, 4, 5 free throws in when they did it the other time. And the thing is that they didn't actually make any baskets when they were blindfolded. Like, they didn't. It was just that people were telling them they were awesome. People were telling them that they could do it. People were cheering for them and celebrating them. It's not that their skill level changed at all, right? Just their belief in themselves changed. That's it. Like, you have to watch it. I literally was like, oh my God, these people are making baskets. I was like, I want to go out and try this, but then I'll know the trick, so it probably wouldn't work for me. But still, like, I was blown away that these people that couldn't do it at all before just got cheered on. That's it. That's all they got, cheered on, and they were able to do it before. And so it really reminded me a lot of what has been happening this past month. The people on our team, the groups on our team who saw the most growth, who saw the most excitement, who celebrated champs, who became champs, who had the largest growth. There's someone on this team whose team did $50,000 more than they did last month. And I'm not calling anybody out, but I'm like $50,000 more than last month. Those teams are the teams that were connecting all of their people, brand new people, people who've fallen off the radar for a little bit, anyone who expressed an interest in doing better this month than last month. Those team members connected them with the people in their, and I hate using this term, but in their uplines, the people in their teams, they connected them and we cheered them on. I promise you that I didn't give anybody any miraculous information that they didn't already know. I promise you that I didn't give anybody this magical skill that made their team do $50,000 more in volume this month than last month. How many of you would like to do $50,000 more in volume this month than last month? I'd like to do $500,000 more in volume this month than last month. So if we all agree to do 50, I think that'll work out. But, like, all we did, was get him in a message with people. And Jessica would say, if you're in part of Jessica's team, she would just say, oh my gosh, girl, you got this. You're amazing. We love you. You can do anything. Get us connected with your people. And then they would connect their people with us. And Ashley would say the same thing. Oh my gosh, you guys are amazing. You can do this. You've got what it takes. You're so, personable. You've got a great community of people. It looks like you have lots of people who are your friend on Facebook. You can do this. Like, that's all we did was cheer each other on. That's all we did. So I'm going to encourage you to look into your team and do that with your team. If you're not connecting people, you are missing the boat. I promise you. Did I have 5,000 dings on my phone every day? Yes. Ashley, did you have 5,000 dings on your phone every day? Jessica? Yes. Sierra, I don't see your face. Yes. Jessica Davenport? Yes. Aaron and Betsy, I know you all did too. I've been in a million messages with your people. Danielle, you have me in a message with like 72 people this morning already. Do we have a ton of messages? Yes. Did some of them get missed? Yes. But all we did was cheer each other on. That's all we did. And it was growth after growth after growth, excitement after excitement after excitement, new people after new people after new people. And that's all we did. They're blindfolded. We just cheered them on. We just told them they can make the basket, and they did. And I know it sounds super cliche, but I for real need you to watch this episode when I send it to you, because you'll be like, oh my God, that's all it takes for people to make the basket. That's all it takes. So those were really the biggest things on my agenda. I just saw that, and I told Jack, I was like, I want to pick up the phone and call every single person on our team right now and tell them to watch this episode.
Hey, to add to that too, I know people are going to watch the video, but they also did a negative aspect of that. They had somebody who made 9 out of 10 shots, blindfolded them, didn't make them, and everybody was kind of like, good try, that was a good try, but you're blindfolded, whatever. And everybody, every time he took a shot, everybody was kind of like, no big deal, whatever, and they didn't really pay attention to him. And after the blindfold, he only made 4, and he made 9 before because of the negative attitude that was going on around him. So it had a negative impact on somebody who was really good, which I think is important too.
Mm-hmm. I know. It was really cool. And then there was one person who did just as good both times. It didn't matter. Like, she made like 10 baskets the first time, and then they blindfolded her, and everybody booed whenever she missed it, even though I don't even think she did miss it. And then they took the blindfold off, and she did just as good. She was the one person who did 10 the first time and 10 the second time. And when they asked her how she did it, she was like, well, I was a collegiate basketball player, so I've learned how to tune out the negativity. Like, I learned how to tune out the booze. I was like, where's a microphone? Do I have a microphone? I need a microphone. Like, drop. Like, positive reinforcement makes people better at what they do. Negative reinforcement makes people worse at what they do. And the ability to block out the bullshit will make you unstoppable. Like, it was just incredible. So I'm gonna put it in our champ thread later for you all to watch. Anyway, that's really it. I just wanted to get on the phone. I was like, Jack, what do I gotta do? I gotta do a call. I gotta do a Zoom. I gotta do something. I gotta tell people about this basketball thing. Anyway, it just really fired me up. I want to hear from those of you who had people in tons and tons and tons of messages, and I would love to hear how you feel that impacted your business, or if you have examples of people on your team who just crushed it because they were doing that. Anybody? I mean, I already know 5 of you who should raise your hand. So, somebody.
Hey, I will real quick before I have to get Shugs in the bed. I look terrible, so nobody judge me. I don't have my makeup today. I'm just super encouraged. Like, I feel like this month was amazing. It was not even my best month that I've ever had in Prove It, but I just felt so good about the way things went, Mandy. And I think that the main reason is because we had all that interaction and all that connection like you were talking about. And I 100% agree. The people on my team personally who had growth this month, who had success, are the people who were connecting. And I promise you guys, it's not because I'm anything special or anything any better than anyone else. But whenever you get other people involved in your business, it's going to make a difference. And we have so many people who, maybe use the excuse, I don't want to bother you, or I can do this on my own, or maybe, that, yeah, you're just as good as I am. So like I said, I'm not saying connect people to me because I think I'm amazing or special, but it just works. And I think a lot of it is just like you said, all the encouragement, all the excitement, just pushing somebody. When someone pushes me, it makes me want to do better and be better, and it makes me want to make them proud. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but the end of the month especially was just super, super exciting. And I just felt like, I don't even know how to describe it. It felt like it did our very first month Improve It. You know, if you guys remember your first month Improve It, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, because you have all the feels all the time. You just are on top of the world. Your life is insane. You rarely have time to shower or take a break, and you feel like you're spinning out of control. But it's the best feeling in the world, because I would take that feeling over the feeling of being relaxed and wondering what the heck's going on and my phone not blowing up. So I hope that continues. And I really think in order for that to continue, we must keep on connecting people, digging into our teams. I met so many people that I had never even heard of that had been in my business for months. And I'm not placing blame. If anything, I'm placing blame on myself for not, making it my whatever to dig in there and see who these people are. But at the end of the day, you guys have to realize that there's so many people. So your people, like, it just goes really, really deep. You know, there's no way that any one person, especially Mandy, would ever have time to completely dig into your business and see and speak with everyone who's working. So if you could just make it really simple and duplicatable, because if you're not doing it with your people, they're not going to know to do that to you.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So, like, I don't want everybody in the world to be connected to me because for any other reason than I want that to be a learned thing, something that every single person on our team does is connect people up. And I think I take a lot of blame for that, because, I had that same attitude. I love Mandy. Obviously, she's one of my best friends in the world, but I think we all kind of get that attitude, like, I got this. This is my team. I can handle it. These are, you know what I mean? These are my people. Like, that's stupid. That was probably the dumbest thing that I ever did, was to have that attitude and feel that way, that I wanted to exclude Mandy from anything that I did, because that was only hurting myself and my people. And you know what I mean? So I know I'm rambling a little bit, but I'm just really excited about the way that this month turned out. And I learned a ton and learned a lot of things that I'm going to continue on throughout December. And I can't wait to close out this year. Like, I'm super excited.
Yeah, I love it. I'm super pumped up too. And I 100% agree. We've all heard that word, like, dig in with your team, dig in with your team. And we've had people dig in with our team, right? We have had that. But I assure you that, like, the day Michael Rutherford picked up the phone and talked to Jessica, I think it was a phone call with Jessica, Ashley, Kelly, and Sierra. I think that may have been the group of people that he made that first phone call. It wasn't because Michael Rutherford picked up the phone and called us. It was because someone connected us to him. Now, I'm not saying he wouldn't have ever noticed us. I think we were probably pretty difficult to ignore. And I think we all came in as a group, as a team, and did stuff that nobody would have turned a blind eye to. But those initial conversations didn't come because he just saw what we were doing, right? He had a big team already. Those things happened because someone connected him to us, and that someone was Melissa. So, we have to do that for our team. Yes, we have to dig in, but we have to train our personal people to do that with us. We have to train our people to connect us. And if you have someone in your team that you feel needs to be connected, you have to connect them, right? We have to take responsibility for that. So that's for sure. Real quick, and then I'm going to let Ashley talk, because I know she unmuted herself. I know she was trying to tie break Jessica there because she had some things to say. But I'm going to bring up Danielle Vader specifically, who is a brand new champ this month. Here is how the conversation went mid-November. Mandy, and this was from Leslie, who is her sponsor. Mandy, Danielle has been super close to champ every single month for the past cajillion months, but we just can't get her to champ. And I said, well, where's the message with me and all the rock stars on her team? Get her, get Jackie, get me, get all of her people that are ready to run in a message. Guess what we did? We fired each other up. We cheered each other on. Danielle is champ. I didn't offer anybody millions of dollars. I didn't offer anybody gallons of free product. I didn't offer anybody. We just cheered each other on. I didn't give anybody my customers. I didn't give anybody my promoters. We didn't sell spots on eBay. I don't even think you can do that. I'm just saying, we didn't do anything except cheer each other on, motivate each other, check in with each other, talk about each person, about how awesome they were, how committed they were, what their goals were. We just took responsibility for each other. And now she's a champ. It just increased everybody's level of activity by at least 10 paces. And I'm going to just let you unmute yourself for 1 second and tell me, do you agree with me or disagree with me?
I agree. So I was like, oh my God, watch this not unmute for me.
I know, but that's what we did, right? That's all we did.
It was honestly this month was insane for me. It was awesome. It was everything that I wanted it to be. Ever since I went to Charge, I just had so many hopes and dreams about Charge going into it. I had no idea what to expect when I went. And then coming home from it, I was super inspired, and I really appreciate you. So thank you.
Yes, I appreciate you. Dude.
Everything that's happening right now is because of our community. And yeah,
it was super fun. And I met, like Jessica said, I met people that are a part of her team that are doing amazing things. I don't even know who they are. And that's just as much, I don't want to say fault, but it's just as much, like Jessica said, on me as it is on you. But it doesn't matter anymore because now we're all connected. Right? And Cham, we didn't stop talking. We're still talking. We're all still, What are we doing? What do we do today? Tell me what you did. That's all we're doing, holding each other accountable. I need to be held accountable the same way that Danielle does and the same way that all the people on her team do. I need someone to say to me, good job, Mandy. You sent 30 messages today. That's amazing. I'm a regular person. I want someone to pat me on the back too. And so I tell you all those things for the same reason that you're going to tell me, because you want someone to say you're awesome. I love that. I love it. So I love that I have a whole other group of people to be connected to. So I appreciate you letting me in and letting me work with your group. Ashley, what do you, I know you unmuted 2 times and I ruined it.
No. Well, I'm glad that you let Danielle talk, because just hearing that brand new champ feeling, did that not make you all so excited just to hear how she was so pumped up and so excited about what just happened to her business? Think about that. How many people watched her run to champ this month and thought to themselves, oh my gosh, I have to do that in December. We all have those people on our teams that are waiting for us to reach out to them. They're there, guys. They're there. And when they see stuff like that happen, they're so pumped up, they're fired up, they're excited. And so I hear this from people all the time. I had a Zoom and one person got on. Congratulations! Michael Rutherford says, saddle them up and ride them like Seabiscuit to champ. You only need one person, and that one person could change your whole business. Mm-hmm. Because I guarantee that when Danielle hit champ, that fired up so many people on that team that are going to work so much harder in December. So if you have 2 or 3 people, pour everything you have into them. You don't need to have a team of 100,000 people to be successful here. You need a couple people that are serious that you can devote your time to and work with them one-on-one every single day, and just constantly, who do you know? Who can you connect me with? How can I help you? And we saw this video with Dustin and Michael, digging into your teams from the bottom up. I know specifically this month, it was so crazy, but how many people at the end of the month came out of the woodwork, fired up and excited for December because somebody on their team hit a new rank?
Wow.
I don't care what happened. I don't care the reason for it. It happened, and it's proven to work, and it's going to happen over and over and over. So if you find those rock stars under you and you get connected and you have them connect people to you, it's just literally going to continue to happen, guys. It's not a science. It's something that we're all learning as we go. But if we continue, like Jessica said and Mandy said, and we teach this to our teams, and you just share that excitement with people and you just stay plugged in, you're going to be unstoppable. Like your champ, like, okay, so if you're on here tonight and you have 2 or 3 champs that aren't on here with you and you're disappointed, it's okay. You know, pop a new one in December, pop a new one in January. I have tons of people that we bring into the business every single day that I don't hear from, or they come in and they're guns a-blazing and they're going to hit rank 7 this month, and then they drop off the face of the earth. Well, maybe they enrolled somebody that I can connect to, you know, like literally if you dig into your teams, you're going to find so many rock stars that can do so much for the end of this year. I don't know. I'm just so fired up. Like Jessica said, I felt like, and maybe there was something in the air. Maybe it was that 1-year anniversary month. I don't know what it was, but y'all, November had me feeling like I got my very first experience hack. Like I was so pumped up this month. I can't even imagine how this month is going to end. Like I'm just fired the freak up.
I know.
Look how cute Michelle is. I literally hate her. It's her first Champ Zoom too, and she's so cute. I love her.
Michelle, tell us how you're feeling. How did November feel for you, and what, I mean, and I don't know what the answer is. I mean, I know what I was a part of, but I don't know exactly what your answer will be. What do you think made the difference for you this month?
What do I think made the difference? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Sorry. Oh, that's a hard question to answer.
I mean, you've basically been on fire like the whole time. I mean, you know what I mean? So you haven't been here for 8 kajillion years either. So we've got a whole bunch of different scenarios happening on this thing. But what do you think it was about, you know, or even just the last week or the last, like, just down to crunch time that really made you feel like it just, the momentum?
I think it was just being connected to all of you guys and the belief that you guys had in me. And that made me believe more in myself, and that made me start passing that on to all of my rock stars. Like just realizing the community and how it's set up, and how everyone really is truly here to help everyone. And I think that was a moment it was an eye-opening moment for me. Just having you guys involved in my business and realizing that you're really there and that I really need to dig in to everyone. And I started to connect to everyone individually and make sure they knew that I was there for them and I was going to help them grow their business regardless of, you know, not saying like anyone else, but that I was there, just reassuring them of that, because you guys reassured me that you were there.
That's awesome. And like, I love the difference between what you said and what Ashley said. Not the difference, but the different points. Like you said, my rock stars, and Ashley said it doesn't matter how many rock stars you have, as long as you have one. And I don't know if y'all have heard me give this example before, but I mean, I'm sure, and I use Michael a lot when he's not on the Zoom, but I know that if he were on, he would agree with me. The number of people that Michael has introduced this opportunity to is probably this big, right? Like you can't even see my hands. But the number of people who are actually building him a legs is this many. That's real. That's real, right? He has Michael Beal, who brought in Melissa Reddix, who brought in our team. Okay, so that's one group. He has Maddie V, who brought in Jared and Mitch and all of them. That's another group. He has Dustin, like Caleb, and the fourth leg is Lacey, right? Is that right? And she's a champ 7. So he has 4 people, if you think about it. If you just think about it, there are 4 people out of all the people he's connected to this conversation. 4 people have made his business what it is today. Right? Now, that doesn't mean he only talks to those 4 people, but, you know, think about that. You don't have to, like Ashley said, you don't have to be frustrated. We all have people that we wish were connected more than they are. We all have people who we wish were understood their potential more than they do. We all have it. You'll have it too. But the point is that if you just get really good at figuring out who the people are who are going to connect you to more great people, that's where the magic happens. And so, that's how Michael knows who to work with. Are there other little legs in his business? I'm sure that there are, right? But he knows who can connect him to who can connect him to who can connect him to who, right? I mean, you might have somebody like Ashley said, who you brought in last month, who's done nothing but said they were going to do everything, but they may have just enrolled a customer who's going to be your next Ashley Bass, or Ashley White. I'm sorry, it's going to take me a really long time. Or who's going to be your next Jessica Davenport, or Jessie Boozer, or whoever. I'm just looking at whoever's faces are close to me, by the way. You're all amazing, so I could call you all. So just keep that in mind and focus on the people who want it and not on the people who don't. And I know that's really hard, and I really do say those things because it's a reminder for myself. It's something I have to tell me. I genuinely want everyone to win, and it's really hard for me to say my time is up here, but that's super important too. So
I also want to add one more thing. So we always talk about Michael, right? Because he's a legend, and he's a legend in so many ways, but his title is a legend. Do you guys think about the fact that we have a ranked 10 couple and a legend couple at our disposal that are amazing every single day? And so if we're not connecting people to Jessica and Steven and to Mandy and Jack and saying, you have got to meet Mandy and Jack Mitchell. They are legends in our company. They hit it at, a record pace. They're blah, blah, blah. Like literally, guys, that's huge. That's huge. That is our upline. Like that is our direct upline that we can talk to every single day. If you're not using that to your advantage, you are crazy. When we first got started and we met Michael and they were like, this is Michael Rutherford, he's ranked 10 and blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm meeting a ranked 10. You know what I mean? Think about that. Like if we're not doing that every single day, we're doing ourselves a disservice.
It makes the people that you're bringing in feel important. Like I don't need to feel important. I mean, it's always really nice, right? But if you've watched that video where Michael talks about edifying, that's what works, right? Like when Ashley talks about introducing people, it makes that person feel special. Like, holy cow, Ashley thinks I'm cool enough, important enough, special enough that I'm going to do good enough things that I deserve to be introduced to Jessica and Steven. That's insane. You know what I mean? Like, and then Jessica and Steven get to say, oh my gosh, you're so lucky that you get to work with Ashley. She's incredible. We love having her on our team. She won't steer you wrong. She's going to tell you everything you have to do. Totally listen to her, and we're here to help as well. So let's say you're introducing someone to me. You're going to tell me how awesome they are. You're going to tell them how awesome Jack and I are. Not because we need to be told we're awesome, but because it makes that person feel special. Then we are going to talk about how awesome you are so that this person knows they have just joined the team of somebody that we think the world of, that's incredible, that isn't going to steer you wrong, that's going to tell you exactly what you need to do to grow your business. And they instantaneously feel welcomed, connected, and part of something bigger than themselves. So,
and the reason why, I think about that all the time anyway. You guys are amazing regardless of the titles, and I think that I think that. But what I really thought about this week was a lot of people were in Dubai for one of the medallion trips. There were a lot of people on this team that were invited to go, but couldn't for other circumstances. But I heard some people on our team talking about people that were there and how awesome that was and how cool would it be to be a top leader in Dubai. And they were referencing people that were not on our team that were in Dubai. And I just thought to myself, we're just not doing a very good job at edifying the people that we have on this team that are rock stars. And so it's not like, anybody had to say, I got invited to Dubai and chose not to go. I'm still really freaking amazing. But I'm just saying, I feel like as a whole, we should all get really better at saying, you've got to meet Jessica Davenport. She's our rank 8 upline. She is freaking amazing. Like, you're going to die when you meet her. She gives the best advice ever, Or this is Yolanda. Like, literally, we've got to get better at that, I think, and just making people feel really special, really important, really pumping people up and just showing, we all have really, really great things that we're awesome at that we can offer people in our downline. And if we get really good, it goes back to the connect phase. But if we get really good at that and connecting people and pumping them up immediately and letting them know like how important and special that is, it's something that our teams are going to continue to do. So that's just something I thought about this week. And I just wanted to make sure that we all work on that together, myself included, because we do have some really special people on this team.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know that people were saying that. I'm glad that I didn't, especially because some of the people who were invited chose not to go because it was going to be at the end of the month. And they wanted to be a support to their team. So, yeah, I didn't know that was happening.
It made me really sad. I was just like, yeah, they're rock stars. I'm leaving the message. They're going to go hide under a hole.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. Yes, it would have been a really, really cool experience. And I won't say that part of me doesn't go, oh, I should have said yes. But it wasn't the right thing, right, for everybody to go. So that's the really cool thing is that this is your business. It's my business. It's your business. It's Jack's business. You get to be a part of it at whatever level you want to be a part of it. And that doesn't change who you are or what your goals are or what you're after or what you're capable of or the amount of badassery really that you can contribute to your own life or to our community. Not every event is going to be for everybody. Not every event is going to work out for everybody. And that includes things like charges. That includes things like Keto Academies and more. That includes, just even mixers in your own backyard. You just have to figure out what's going to work for you in your life, as long as, your commitment to your business is actually strong and the same all the way around. But yes, thank you, Ashley. I agree. I have actually really tried to improve with that as well, because we are connected to some really great people. Even though it's via placement and not via sponsorship, the Milkies are a part of our team. And I have not been using them or introducing people to them either. And so I've made a conscious effort this last couple of weeks. I know Ashley has done the same thing. Jessica's done the same thing, where we've been including them in some message threads. And, we are connected to some of the most incredible people in Prove It, whether they're in Dubai or not. Some of the most incredible people are connected to us, and we should get better at using them. So thank you. I'm going to do better at that too. Does anybody have anything else? Those are really the only things on my agenda. Danielle is raising her hand. You can go ahead.
Okay, I have this problem. So my business is growing really fast.
You have a challenge. It's not a problem.
Thanks. I'm meeting lots of people. I'm talking to lots of people. So I've added about 1,000 people to Facebook this year, and I try to, get to know them. I'm meeting people out places. So for instance, I did a craft fair yesterday, so I had a table set up, and people were coming up and talking to me, and I wrote down their names. And then when I got home last night and I went to message them, I was like, oh my God, I've been talking to this person already. I couldn't place them. Or even when I'm out around town, people will be like, oh my God, hey, I'm drinking my orange. And I'm like, that is fantastic. How are you doing with it? And then I'm like, am I losing my bloody mind?
No.
How am I not remembering who these people are? I want to remember who everybody is. I want to be best friends with everybody. And I feel like I'm not doing a very good job.
Welcome to my world.
My husband's like, it's not even possible to remember what you're trying to do. It's not even possible. But I'm like, it has to be. I'm sure of it.
Well, it's not. And it's okay to just say to people, yeah, Carrie says, give it up. Too many people. It's okay to say to people, you just have to be okay with being who you are. And you can say to people, I'm so sorry, I forget your name. Most people understand that you're connected to 7 million other people and aren't going to be totally offended by that. So I think that you just have to embrace it as a sign of the number of lives that you're touching.
Okay.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff you're going to have to come to terms with as your team grows. And that will be one of them, I assure you. But it doesn't mean.
I don't feel so bad then.
No.
Okay.
Good. Does anybody have anything else? I wanted to congratulate too, and then Christine's going to speak. She's raising her hand. I want to congratulate everybody too who's been doing a really good job of setting examples for their teams. I think that's another huge shift in the groups that saw growth this past month. The people who are literally doing the DMOs and not just doing them, but showing their team that they're doing them. Right? I take pictures and screenshots of the messages I send for a whole lot of reasons. One of them is to show people that I'm doing the things I'm asking of them. And the people who I've started to see doing that in their own groups and their own messages and their own team pages, their people are following suit. So if you've been doing that, I really think you should be you should pat yourself on the back for that. That's going to be huge. Ashley, I'm just going to let you talk about that after Christine does. Don't boss me around. Don't tell me what to do. You're not the boss of me. I'm going to let Christine talk and then you can go.
Rude.
So rude. Okay, Christine, what's up?
I was just going to chime in about what Danielle was talking about because I had a similar experience to it today. It was really funny, but it actually made me cry. So my town is really small here, and so I was the first one to bring Prove It here. So I'm like connected to a lot of people that I like have no idea that I'm connected to. So it happens to me all the time, especially because the license plate on my Jeep says ketones. So people are always like, they see that and then they're like, oh, and they just start talking to me about it. And so today we pulled up to the gas station after being up in the woods getting our tree, and I was in, my snow gear, and I'm walking in the gas station trying to grab some drinks, and the lady behind the counter got so excited. She goes, is that your Jeep? I'm like, yeah. And she goes, do you have any ketones in your purse? I was like, well, duh. Yeah, of course. And she goes, well, I just checked my smart ship. It's not going to be here for a few days. She's like, I literally cannot operate without my keto. And I was like, oh my gosh, yeah, of course. So I grabbed some out of my purse and get her all hooked up and everything. And she goes, I started in August and I've lost 74 pounds. And I was like, what? Like, there's just, like, how does something like that happen? And I have no idea, how is somebody having such an amazing experience? And that has just been happening to me constantly. Mandy, I think you were in one of the messages the other day with a lady that signed up to be a promoter. Her name's Karen. Her and her daughter have both lost 70 pounds, not together, separately. Like 140 pounds is gone in their household.
I know.
And so kind of like what Carrie was saying, like, you're just a part of something so amazing and changing so many people's lives. Like, I know you want to keep track of them all and love them all individually, but just kind of considering them like a huge family and loving everybody as a whole, I think is the best way to go about it,
I think you need to go back to that gas station and ask that girl if she wants to be a promoter.
I know. I got all connected with her. I got her information and figured out, who she buys from and all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely going to dig in a little bit deeper there. She actually had a mixer not too long ago and everybody was there. So I'm excited to dig into that. But yeah.
That's awesome. That's so cool. I think that's a sign of just how far your reach has gone. So that's awesome.
It's super
Ashley, do you have something that you'd like to talk about before we hang up?
No, love you, Bob. Just kidding. Okay, so we all know that Epic is the end of January. And December is basically gone. If you look at your calendar, I don't know if you guys have a crazy calendar like me, but December is literally gone. So it'll be here super fast. We all know the importance of going to events. If you've been to one, you know how literal life-changing and business-changing they can be. We don't want to shame people into events. If they cannot go, they have something that came up, they have to work, they have kids, whatever the reason is, we just want people to know how important they are. So as a champ, people look up to you as a leader, and they look up to you as what to do in their business, what they should be going to, what's important. So we just want to make sure that we're sharing that with people. We're trying to get resourceful and help them figure out how they can get there, whether that's, sharing a ride with somebody, sharing a room with somebody. If they can't afford to stay, were you going to say something? Oh, if you can't afford to stay at that hotel, stay somewhere else. But we just want to help your people get there. So if you need help with things like that, reach out to us. But let's make sure the next couple of weeks that we really push getting people there, especially anyone that you see crazy potential in. So like, Danielle just hit champ. Who can she get to champ next? So
Karen.
we need to work with Danielle's up and coming champ and get them there. You know what I mean? So dig into your teams, find out who your rock stars are. And we all know, I went to my first event like probably 1 year ago last week, and it changed my life, like not just my business, but my life. So you never know what this one event in January could do to kick off 2018 for somebody. So,
and I'll tell you what, when we went to Epic, I would say, even though we had been to an event prior to this, we had been to the Champ holiday party, which is happening this weekend, by the way. So I would love to know who we're going to see there, because I really have been so absorbed in November that I forgot this was even happening. So I'm so super pumped up to see you all at the Christmas event. It's going to be a really great time, but I really considered Epic my first big event. I mean, in comparison, there's no comparison, right? And I remember walking in, I was with Ashley and Jessica and Steven and Jack, and we all walked into the one room, and we were like, I mean, I wish someone would have videotaped us, because we were like, what is happening? This is the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I wish someone videotaped it. It was amazing. It was incredible. So if there's any way for you to go, we would definitely love for you to be there. And again, like Ashley said, it just sets an example and sets a pace for your team. So we want to make sure that they at least know that you think it's important for them. Does anybody have any other questions? Did I say camcorder, Jessica? Why are you writing that word? Did I use it?
You said videotape with their telephone. Okay, well.
Jessica loves my vocabulary. It's awesome, I know. Just say record. Okay, I wish somebody would have recorded it. There you go. Is that better?
I'll say tape too. They make fun of me because they're rude.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you all to do before we get off then, if nobody has anything else or any questions about what's coming up. I don't know anything. People keep asking me, Mandy, what's happening in December? I'll call you on your landline telephone. I don't have a landline telephone. Everybody keeps asking me, what's coming, Mandy? Do you know what's coming? Do you know what's happening? We know nothing. I will tell you that there was a brief conference call sometime over Thanksgiving break. I don't remember when it was, what day it was, or even half of what we talked about. A few of you were on the call as well. I think it may have been rank 8s and up. It was one of those things where it was like it was at midnight, and we got a pulse that said everybody be on in 10 minutes. So it was like literally 1 a.m. where I was. It was crazy, and I don't really even remember what was discussed, but there were a ton of fun incentives, a ton of fun holiday cash opportunities, some really great promos that we were finalizing. My assumption is a lot of those got finalized with the group in Dubai, so I don't know what's happening. We don't really know what's going on specifics, but we know that whatever it is, just the beginning stages were insane, like thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And I will tell you that last year in December, there was an incentive, a promo similar to the one that's going out. And I think Jack and I earned like $7,000 from that incentive, from one incentive. I cried when they put it in my wallet. I cried. I didn't even know what to do with myself. It was more money I had ever seen in one deposit at that time in my entire life. Jessica, do you remember? She said, I remember. I sent a screenshot, I think, to some of you. I was like, what the hell just happened? I don't know what happened. So the Christmas promos are giant. I would make sure that you are spending. Yeah, Jessica won Lulu. She got Lululemon. I earned, what did I win? I won a free ride on a private jet with Brian Underwood that I have still not gotten. So someday I guess I'll ride on the plane. But I did win one. I think I won 2 for that month. So anyway, I have no idea what's going to come, but it's going to be crazy awesome stuff. So if you have irons in the fire, if you have potentials that you've been talking to, if you have a list of people that you have not yet reached out to, I would get crack-a-lackin'. I would have those conversations now, because when these promos are released, it's going to be a huge opportunity, and we all know that most of them will be based off of new volume. So I would really get those conversations started if you haven't started them already. There's going to be some incredible things that will be launched at Epic. Like the next 2 months are going to be insane and business changing, and I just can't even deal with it. So it's huge for new people. And Brittany Beck, that's hysterical. Yes, Brittany Beck is the queen of new volume. I hate her. I'm going to bury her one day. Maybe when I go to Mary Joseph, since I'm going to Mary Joseph for helping me with the raffle today. Brittany and I are going to be sister wives. Okay. We have literally 4 minutes until this awesome call that's being put together by Dustin and Natalie. Hopefully you sent that off to some of your potentials, and I've been talking about it with your team, so it's all loaded up. I love you guys, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much to everyone who got on. Brittany, I cannot clean the house. I vacuumed my house today, and it was the first time I vacuumed in probably 11 months. So, I mean, the house has been vacuumed. I just didn't do it. This is the first time I did it. So no, I cannot vacuum your house, clean your house. Anyway, I love you guys and appreciate you. I'm going to get that episode for you to watch. This was recorded, so once it's uploaded, if you need it, let me know. And let's just crush December and get everyone connected to everyone else. Okay? Bye, guys.